Hello, 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 and welcome back. Welcome back. We are continuing our series on Stranded RAFT. It is a custom survival map. It's wonderfully done. I really enjoyed it. As I've mentioned in previous episodes, I did break it whenever I uploaded it into my Realm server so that my friends could play with me for a little while. It lost the thermoregulation because the map is designed so that if you're out in the night, you get cold. If you're in the rain, you get cold. If you're in the water, you get cold. And there are different levels of being cold until finally you get hypothermia and you can die from it. That's one of the little bonus challenges to this map. The other is thirst. If you get thirsty, then you have mining fatigue, which is quite annoying. The only thing I don't like about the thirst factor is it seems to happen quickly. I think maybe, I don't know if it's on some kind of a timer or what, but I think it's set a little bit fast. But it's still a great map. I've had a lot of fun with it. It doesn't let you spawn animals. It doesn't spawn any aggro mobs either. The downside to the no aggro mobs is bone. You can't gather bone from skeletons. You have to fish for it. So bone meal is a bit pricey. It's a bit scarce. And then of course string from spiders. It would have been nice to have been able to farm spiders for string. But then again, it's part of the challenge. So, and as far as the animals, that's turned off. You can't, even if you have the grassy area and you have the 2 blocks of grass and all of that, you still can't spawn animals. It has guardians in the water that naturally spawn, and it has chickens and rabbits that naturally spawn. Other than that, that's it. So even if you set up one of your islands, which would in any other map start spawning animals, it's not going to. So you're not going to have any cows or sheep. The only wool you get is from the raft that you start in, and or near. I actually spawned in the ocean, but the raft is where you get your wool, and I can't remember if you find any in loot. I don't think so. But anyway, the last episode we did the topper for the lighthouse, and I wasn't crazy about it, so I made some changes. And I know it's raining. It should stop soon. I like the changes better. I went around it. I took out all the glass blocks and replaced it with panes. And I did a trim of cobblestone stairs around the bottom and the top, and then sandwiched it with the glass panes. And I do think that looks better. It would probably look even better had I gone up another row or two with the glass. But I'm not going to go back and tear all that out just to add that in. I went ahead and I got the torches set with the fence posts so they're not just slapped up against the wall. And I put some fence posts and slabs underneath to have some support for this platform. So today, in this episode, we are going to rock this island up. I also added this as a support for the stairs. There's an oak. I did a stack of oak logs that goes all the way up through the top. So the stairs appear to have more support. And of course I had to cap it with a slab because those are slabs up there. So I think that was an improvement as well. That's one of the great things about Minecraft. You don't like something, tear it out, do it again. You know, you think you like it, doesn't look quite right, just leave it alone for a little while, come back, and you never know, you may like it again. And I moved our supplies in here. I put the oak stuff up because, like I said, we're down to landscaping. So we are, let's see, let's start with the sand, and let's get some layers going. Let's build this up a little bit so it's not flat. Okay. We want this because around the lighthouse, this peninsula area, we want it to look like it's rocky. So we're going to get some layers going here. So this isn't just all flat and boring. And so we have a place to build up our rocks. Now, if I really wanted to get crazy, I could do a pathway of dirt blocks from here all the way across to get some grass growing and spreading, but that would take a serious investment of time. And so if you want to make sure that you have grass on your islands, then if you level them like I did to farm the dirt and the sand, make sure you leave one grass block behind so that you have that option later. And if you don't need it later, you can always take it out. But trying to put it back in, it's a bit of a bugger. I suppose you could cheat and go into creative mode to make it happen. Okay, I could have swore the rain would be stopping any time. The trick to this is making it look random, and you would think that would be an easy thing. Oh, thank goodness the rain stopped. You would think making something look random would be easy, but it's really not. All right, let's get this filled in. We're going to use our gravel. We're going to use our cobble. We're going to use cobble products. We made some mossy cobble and stuff, and some mossy bricks and stone. So we're going to have a few things to work with to get some different textures in here. Once I get this base set. Okay. That looks too planned. Too straight. Let's change that up a little bit. And I don't like this random block sticking here. My great nephew is sleeping. He is taking his nap. He was getting a little bit on the cranky side, and gave him his juice, and he passed out like a drunk. Alright, we're going to build this up. And then my adult nephew is coming over in a little bit. His mom and myself were sisters. That's how I am the aunt, and or aunt. I guess aunt is actually the more correct pronunciation. But being an Okie, I grew up with it as being aunt. Anyway, we had our extended family Christmas yesterday. Our father, is one of 8 children, and most of those children are now great-grandparents. So our family had to rent the Elks Lodge to have room for everybody. And of course everybody brought a dish or drinks or ice or something, for the meal. And there were 85 people there, adults, not including the little ones. That's it, adults and teenagers. So there were quite a few people. Well, my sister has the recipe for our granny's chicken and dumplings. And I don't know if any of you are familiar with, is it Country Crock? Can't remember the name of the restaurant. There's a restaurant here in Oklahoma, and they have one in Oklahoma City that is Country Kettle, something. I can't remember the name of it. Anyway, their chicken and dumplings actually taste like our granny's chicken and dumplings, but most people don't make it the same way that I've had. Because trust me, I try it every chance I get. See, oh, is this like my granny's? Nope. Is this like nope? Is this like nope? But anyway, her son, the one that's coming over, has been begging her to make them for quite some time. She said for about the last 10 years. Poor thing. And she finally did it. She finally made some. I think we're going to use some dirt too. And she made 2 big old batches. And it's actually quite a bit of work because not only do you have to take care of the chicken and cook the chicken and debone it and everything, but you have the dumplings are a dough, and they get she makes them from scratch. Some people just use like canned biscuits or something, but it's not quite the same. And so she made 2 big old batches yesterday. She was up cooking at 4 o'clock in the morning, and there were some leftovers from the family gathering, and of course she had the other batch. She took a dish to our grandfather, who's in his 90s now, but her son was like, I'll be over tomorrow for more chicken and dumplings. And of course I gave him a hard time. I told him there wasn't going to be any left. He didn't believe me because he knows me too well. So he is going to be coming over any time. We're going to get this in here. I should have just, I didn't make a shovel. It might be, well, no, we're almost finished. I was going to say it might be worth the time to run over to the home island and make a iron shovel and just rip through this stuff, but almost finished as it is, so. And if he comes in while I'm doing this, he's going to give me a hard time. He does not understand how I can play Minecraft so much without getting bored. And he says, every time I see you, you're digging in the dirt or digging in the rock. Always digging. Well, it's kind of part of it. But usually the reason he sees me doing that is because I'm either gathering resources or I'm preparing a build site. I do a lot of excavating. I do try, actually, to shape my builds a lot of times around the landscape and not, you know, it's like a house. A lot of times I see YouTubers and they're like, okay, well, this house is exactly this size and this size and this size, and well, that's not how I do things. If I want to build a house in a certain spot, unless there's a mountain in the way, I generally work around the land that's available. And the house gets designed as I place the blocks. I don't practice it or go into creative mode and build it 15 times so I can do it in my sleep by the time I'm getting ready to record. And part of the reason for that is Not because I want to torture everybody, but the mood may not be there for that particular build. I may enjoy building a little bitty shack for one area because it seems to fit, but that doesn't mean I'm going to want that same build no matter how much I like it. It doesn't mean I'm going to want that same build somewhere else. It may not feel right somewhere else. Really wish I had left at least one grass block so I could have mixed that in here somehow. Oh, I need more dirt. Get off. Alright, we're almost finished. We're just doing this around the base here. And then we're going to start building it up with rock. We are almost finished, right? Curious George is coming on TV. Yay! Oh my gosh, I just turned 49 in October. And I was watching Sesame Street with Gavin, my great nephew that I told you about before that I watched during the day. And it amazes me that there are still actors on Sesame Street that were there when I was watching it as a child. You talk about dedication. You'd have to really love kids to stick with that long, I would think. Because it's a public education channel, public broadcasting system or whatever. So you know they're not making loads of money. I wouldn't imagine, considering they have to raise the money all the time to stay on the air. Alright, so we're going to call that good for the dirt. Alright, yeah, I'm going to call that good for the dirt. Now, let's get, we're not going to keep all this sand on us. We are, however, going to make some more sandstone. So we can make some more sandstone slabs. Well, let's make a few more stairs. And then we'll turn the rest into slabs. Alright, so that'll give us a few different shapes for the sandy look. Alright, now for the rock, we're going to use some regular old cobble. We're going to want some slabs too. Smooth stone, mossy cobble, even though they call it mossy stone. That's cobblestone and vines mixed together. We're even going to throw these furnaces. Am I finished smelting? Yes, I am. We're going to use this furnace too. Gonna use some gravel. Let's just grab all of this. Gonna use some of this stained clay because it's dark, like dirt or mud or charred rock. And then we can go back later and add some lighting with the ferns and the jack-o'-lanterns and things like that. The ferns aren't going to add lighting, it's going to add greenery, obviously. Okay, let's start out. We're going to build up this part with some rock. Yeah, PV made the comments. He's like, too bad you can't do the rocks and stuff around your lighthouse like you did on the Metro map. And I was like, I know, that's terrible. It would be great if I could do that. And then I got thinking about it, and I was like, wait a minute. Why can't I? But at the time he said that, I didn't expect to have enough cobblestone left because, you know, if you're doing tools, we're not going to pile this up. But if you're using stone tools and you're using that cobblestone, use all your cobblestone up and you're stuck with wooden tools. Unless you use all your iron for tools. Alright, let's see. Let's throw some regular stone in here. And this is not going to be as detailed as I would like. It's not going to be in big piles. I think it would look better if it was piled up, but we're not going to do that. Because for one thing, I don't have that many resources to be that free with it. And the other thing is, I'm not going to spend this entire video redoing the ground, so we just want to make it look rocky around the edges. So basically, you know, the ships will, something that would look dangerous for the ships. We don't want them to come up in this area. Okay, give me this cobble. And we can use some of these slabs too. And the furnaces. Alright, we're just going to scatter these around. We only have a couple of these, so we're just gonna, we'll spread these out a little bit. And let's go back to these. If you have any kind of OCD, this is not as easy as it looks, because, you know, I'm just kind of throwing this stuff in here. But the tendency is to cringe and go, ugh. I need that to be even. Oh, stop that. Let's see. We can throw a couple more of these in here. Oh, I hear Gavin. He usually wakes up once or twice during his nap. and looks around trying to decide whether he's awake or not. So if he starts hollering, I'll go get him. But I'm not going to run in there just because I hear him moving around. Because he could very well be putting himself right back to sleep. Stop that. All right, so we have some rocks. Let's see. We don't have to fill every little nook and cranny. Let's do that. And oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Let's kind of break this up a little bit. And basically the trick to this is you run around and you throw blocks down and then you go, let's change this one. And you swap it out for something else. Alright. Let's see. What else do we have? I haven't used any of these. We may not either because we have quite a variety. We may end up not using any of this clay either. May not, may not, may not. Didn't use any of those. But I think I'm happy with this the way it is for the most part. So now we're going to scatter these around a little bit. Give that some texture. Put a couple over here. And some buttons. These are just little pebbles, little rocks. One thing I really wish, oh, we didn't use those yet. Really wish Minecraft had really wish they had what was it, seashells. I think that would be cool, or something that could look like a seashell, you know. Let's go ahead and throw a couple of these rocks over here like they got scattered. Okay, I'd say that's good for that, and let's get some of these rocks in here. Okay, that didn't work out very well. That was too deep. Yeah, that water looks weird with that just stuck in there as a single slab. And this may look kind of goofy to somebody else, and that's fine. You should do this however fits your style. It should not be my style. It should not be anybody's style. It should be your style. If my style gives you ideas, that's awesome. But, okay, I am not gonna go to the trouble to make. Let's use a solid smooth stone there. Okay. Well, okay, so we have some rocks. We have some buttons, some more little pebbles. Okay, so now we need some. Let's get, we could put some of this in here, I guess. Mix it in with the dirt. We could. Yes, we could. And let's get rid of this. Yeah. We've used that enough. We're going to put this up. And let's get some plants and jacks. Okay. First, let's get this worked in different places. Give this a little bit more variety. And again, I'm just walking around and throwing it in. I'm not counting anything. I'm not trying to create any kind of pattern. I am just trying to get this to look a little bit more natural, varied. I mean, I would imagine some of this stuff is damp, different levels of moisture built up in it. So it's going to be different shades of mud. We have a lot of this color. Alright, let's switch to this other and work it in. Oh, good Lord. Quit that. Come on. We're so close to being finished with the lighthouse anyway. All right, so now let's bury some jack-o'-lanterns. We're not going to go heavy on them. Oh, quit that. We want some lighting, but we don't want it to be like, you know, I don't know. You just don't want it super heavy. Let's put one here. Okay, I think that's good on the jacks. So let's fill these in with grass, with the leaves first. All right. And see, this stuff comes together in stages. It may look goofy here and it may look goofy there, but then eventually it starts to look like something. Hopefully. Hopefully. Alright, so did we cover all the jacks? So now we have a little bit of recessed lighting going on. Let's add some vines. Let's add a vine to that, give it a little bit more detail. And to that. And maybe here. And we have one more. Let's go there. Okay. Now for the ferns. And I don't have any bone meal to grow these, unfortunately, into larger ferns, but they will provide some variety and detail nonetheless. Okay, so that's transformed that quite a bit. We have some rocks and pebbles and dirt and mud and some ferns, and if I had really been smart, I would have saved one grass block on this island so I could have had grass mixed in with the mud. But obviously I did not think that far enough ahead. And I'm not going to terraform this whole thing. The rest of it I'm going to leave. I might throw some piles of sand around, work in some more dirt and ferns somewhere. But if I do that, I'll do it off camera. I just wanted to show you this. Get some rocks in here around the lighthouse. And the modification to the top of the lighthouse. I still think I should have made that 2 more high. I think it would have looked more proportioned. So if you try to build anything like this, you might want to do that instead of screwing it up 15 times the way I did. So anyway, thank you very much for taking the time to watch my video. I really do appreciate it. And if there was anything about it that you liked, enjoyed, if it inspired you in any way, even if it gave you something to point and laugh at, please give it a thumbs up. I could really use the support for that to help my channel. And thank you again for taking the time, and we will see you later.